So my dream is kind of a stretch, but I want to be a captain and captain the Indian women's team to a World Cup win.
Welcome back to AmeriCricketTV. I'm Anil Shankarmanchi.
And I'm Richard Ray, and we have a worldwide exclusive tonight about a rising star in USA cricket who's decided to go back to India and pursue an even larger dream. More on that in a moment.
But before that, we have our T20 updates. We now know who our finalists are.
Something of a surprise in one bracket, no
Not so
surprise
much
in
in the
all
other.
other. Well, first of all, let's talk about Afghanistan and South Africa. South Africa stayed unbeaten last night.
Absolutely.
This is last night as we tape it. Beating Afghanistan, that's the surprise. Real Cinderella team. Nobody saw them going that far.
Correct. And if you go back and watch episode 1, Afghanistan was my pick within their bracket, largely because I had so much faith in the structure of the team, the grit that they had, a chip on their shoulder, something to prove to the world. And it's gotten them this far. And I have huge hopes for all the Afghanistan team players, especially going into the MLC League going forward.
And not a lot is going right in Afghanistan these days, and I know they're really proud of their team and what they've done, but that was a surprise they got that far. Okay, the second game just finished as we're taping this. India, no surprise at all, is going to be in the final, and they walloped a pretty good England team.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think what really has gotten India really far in these formats is their comfortability with doing these shorter format games, right? From one-day test match, which originally started with, the advent of India changing the structure. The English actually accepted T20, but we ran with it. India has been prolific in studying the pace of the game.
Anil made the analogy before. It's like a marathon runner suddenly have to do the sprints. And the English are typically better at the longer form matches. This faster T20 game, which all of us have come to love.
Absolutely.
India really has dominated. I'm guessing you would favor them in the final over South Africa, or maybe not.
So just because they are one of my favorite teams, I would naturally have a bias towards India, but South Africa has been a juggernaut. Their net run rates are insane. So it's going to be a hard pick, but just because of my natural fan bias, I would like for India to be the team that wins. But I'm looking forward to just real good sportsmanship. If you see cricket as a newcomer here in the United States, you might not know its rich history.
It goes all the way back to the beginning, before the Revolutionary War, to George Washington. In fact, you can make the argument, Anil, that international cricket was born in the USA. The first international cricket match was played in 1844, Canada against the US, a match in New York City. It was played over 2 days, and the Canadians walloped the Americans by 23 runs. 180 years later, the two teams would meet again in Grand Prairie, Texas, June 1st, 2024, the first ever T20 World Cup match held in the United States. And this time the Americans prevailed, beating the Canadians. Cricket came to these shores in the 1700s, played by British colonists. The first archived reference is in 1709. By 1793, it was a college sport, this drawing of a team from Dartmouth playing cricket on the green. No less authority than the Smithsonian Magazine reports there's evidence that George Washington's troops played what they called wickets at Valley Forge in the summer of 1778, when the Revolutionary War was still underway. After the British were defeated, the game continued to grow here, spreading west and south. Abe Lincoln, before he was president, turned out to watch a match between Milwaukee and Chicago in 1849. It's widely believed that baseball overtook cricket and secured its place as America's game during the Civil War. Soldiers could play baseball on most any patch of ground, while cricket required a carefully prepared pitch. In fairly short order, baseball became the game of the masses and a professional sport here. Cricket, an amateur game, played by gentlemen. On the grassroots level, cricket is once again growing in America. USA Cricket claims there are now more than 400 leagues around the country, with 200,000 players. but that is fueled almost exclusively by immigrants who, again, are bringing with them the game they love. The hope is that Team USA's success in the 2024 World Cup, the second season of Major League Cricket, the inclusion of cricket in the 2028 Los Angeles Olympic Games will attract new fans and new players. Okay, talking about the founding fathers and the history of international cricket in the USA, I did find one other nugget that I really liked. In 1760, the coronation of King George III was going on in England, and Benjamin Franklin went over there. And according to an article published in London, he came back with the laws of cricket at the time. So again, this goes way back to the beginning in the USA.
Absolutely. And you know, keynote, it's not the rules of cricket, it is the laws.
It's the laws of cricket.
And as the formats have been changing, the list has definitely been updated. So I wonder who's got the current copy. I know we house the basketball rules in
they've changed, you know, they have changed over the years, but they've always been rules or regulations. I don't think they've been laws.
Right.
So this makes it sound more serious.
Yeah. I'd like to get a tour of that, maybe on a copy, something like that.
We are going to come back, and again, we started this program with something we're really excited about. A rising star, she made the USA under-19 national cricket team, but she's gone back to India to pursue a professional career there. We'll have that coming up. You're about to meet a young woman from North Texas who I'm really impressed with. She's already made a name for herself at Frisco Lebanon High School, which is here in suburban Dallas, by playing softball.
But she started playing cricket in India as a child, and she was good enough to make it into the USA under-19 division, and she's been on the women's national team. So that tells you scale.
Now she's decided to go back to India to pursue a new dream of professional cricketing in India.
Hi, I'm Snigdha Paul, and my dream is to be a professional cricketer.
Snigdha Paul is a pioneer on 2 continents and in 2 sports. She started playing cricket in India about 7 years ago, then moved to Texas with her family and took up softball at a high school in suburban Dallas, excelling at that.
I started playing softball just to play something in high school. I wanted an experience.
But cricket was her true love.
I always dreamt of playing for India, but then my dad's work moved us here. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess we'll settle down here. We're going to play for the U.S. team. That's also because cricket is growing a lot here.
In 2022, Snigdha made the USA Women's 19 and under team and toured internationally. But now she's closing the door on that path and taking the original.
It's a little bit scary, but I feel like it's a challenge that I need to look forward to. No one that I know has gone back to India. It's a big leap, and honestly, I don't know anyone who's done that. Plan is to move back and settle down first, and then start playing domestic cricket, start with district, state, and eventually make my way up to the Indian team.
Her mom and the parent going with her to India is proud and supportive.
Should try and put in all your efforts. Don't bother about the result. Just put in all your efforts so that you can say that yes, you have tried.
I'm so happy my mom's coming with me. I need someone I need someone constant in my life, and I feel like my mom's the perfect person for that.
All the fielders are protecting the boundary.
Oh, 4 runs, got it.
Her dad and longtime coach says Snigdha has been breaking down barriers for female cricketers for a long time.
Don't stop her from playing, because that's the biggest problem in India, that girls don't play any game. It's not about just cricket. They stop. So this was the biggest, lot of people came that don't stop. Please allow her to play. So I will not stop until she stops.
I mean, I'm only 17. I have years to spare. I feel like I've seen so many great players play, and I feel like I want to be next to them playing the same way and learning from them, and just making history just all together. But my parents have created this bubble around me where they want me to do what I want to do. So it doesn't feel like a risk. It feels like something I should be doing.
Snigdha and her mother, I'm told, are going to fly out on July 5th. Again, long term, could be 3 or 4 years. They're going to try this dream out, go back to India, try to make a professional career, try to make the India national team. It's a bit of a risk.
But women can make serious money playing cricket. And although Snigdha is not there for the money, she's there for the love of the sport and the love of the game. But she's apparently closed the door on coming back to the U.S.
She did make that clear. She thought if she does not make it over there, she will not be coming back to try to play for the USA. She may have closed that door anyway, but we're going to continue to follow her. I know she's got a lot of friends that she's made here. She hopes to maintain those relationships. It's something of a risk, but we wish her well, and we hope as this series of episodes continues that we'll have more to bring you on Singdha Paul as she pursues her dream.
Absolutely. And I think this is what the culture of cricket really is, finding those players that are making the tough decisions in favor of really building out like a love of the sport and culture, and really building out from the young grassroots of players to making it and following their journeys up to the national team.
Great story. Okay, when we come back, we're going to hear from you, the viewer, another segment with comments on AmeriCricketTV. Stay with us.
Welcome back to AmeriCricket, where we get to read wonderful comments from you, the viewers.
This is all part of what we've been trying to do from the beginning. We really want to involve the viewer in what we're doing. And right now, we've had a lot of fun. We get a lot of comments on our YouTube page, scrolling through those comments, picking some that we like. Let's start with one that says, "This is such a great show. We'll take every compliment we get. We may not get all compliments, but we'll take that." And that's from New World Cricket.
No, absolutely. Thank you so much for the shout out. And I think it's really about the cricket culture, and all the channels supporting around the culture are supporting each other. And that's just been, we've been getting so many different compliments from other news channels for around the cricket culture.
Another one here, this is another compliment. "Keep this up. Major League Cricket starts next month too. Will that be covered?" Yes.
Yes. That's going to be immediately after the T20 World Cup finishes. We're going to start seeing the beginning of the MLC League. And because that is the U.S. National League, we're definitely going to have a lot to say about that. There's going to be tons of players coming from around the world to play the league. We're hopefully going to be able to get some more interviews going, and hopefully the viewers will have those specific insights from how we prep the MLC players for the league, to playing the league, to what it's like after as well.
And we are perfectly positioned for that, because 2/3 of all the games are played right here at the Grand Prairie Stadium, which is the best cricket stadium in America. So yes, we will be intensively covering MLC. Okay, I want USA to upset England so that West Indies, okay, that we're past that one. So we did root for the USA. They have, however, qualified by getting to the Super 8. That automatically, I think, Anil, qualifies them for the next World Cup, right?
Good question. We're going to have to look
I
into
believe that. I believe I read that somewhere, that they are already qualified for the next World Cup, which would be in 26, played, I don't know that either, but that's something we'll brush up on.
We'll go do some data research team homework. It's going to be me. I'm the research team.
Yeah. Okay. Aditya Singh. I'm not sure what that was.
Aditya Singh, 6278.
Yeah.
Americans' journey for the World Cup is over, but I think in 2 to 3 years they will be a world-class team. We wholeheartedly agree. Team America has really just been.
They did really well in this tournament.
Absolutely.
Surprisingly well.
Coming up to ICC agreed to please the South Asian audience. They literally scheduled every match in broad daylight, even the World Cup final. There is a huge difference in crowd engagement at night. Who wants to sit in killing hot afternoon to watch cricket? Come on, ICC.
And that probably had a lot to do with TV times in South Asia as well. I mean, they couldn't be playing games. The later games would have been, what, middle of the night in India and Australia and places like that.
Right.
So that's a part of it. Although you can make an argument that ICC could have done a better job marketing cricket in the U.S., because I don't think it got the kind of coverage it deserved. But
right. And you can also argue that that's kind of what catered the timing of the matches to the viewership that is existent. So I think what we're doing here on the show and what the viewers are doing independently, y'all are really helping prove that cricket culture doesn't have to be centralized to any one time zone. And that's what really makes it special for all of us.
I like this one from Kitarakuna. You're better at that. What do you think that is?
Kitaro-kun,
Kitaro-kun.
65, 64.
Subbed immediately. That means subscribed, and please do that. Another indication that we're getting a pretty international audience here. Love from the West Indies.
Oh man, that's one of those power teams. Super interesting to have love from players that are such incredible players, incredible teams, and you know, fans from their regions really digging what's going on here in America.
Okay, I think I can read this one. It's called Red Raphael. For a moment I went like, why does Richard Ray look like white version of Indian Foreign Minister
S. Shankar in the thumbnail.
Found out this channel. Okay, we've got a picture, couple of pictures. He's a distinguished looking guy.
Yeah. And for the audience at home who might not know, Rich doubles as an actor model here in the DFW area. So that's also a double compliment out to our foreign minister, Mr. Shankar.
Okay, one more. I think we got time for one more.
Yep.
We talked a little bit about this last week, but somebody writes, Test cricket, American people will not like it. Test cricket is the long form,
The 5 day.
1 day, is that considered test? Not
No,
really.
that's 1 day cricket.
test
is 5 day.
I said this last time. I really think that is something that's pretty foreign, literally foreign to Americans, to have a 5 day match that could still end in a tie.
Right.
And I think the T20 thing is really taking hold now. It's
For sure.
the future of the game, isn't it?
For sure. I think as T20 finds its love, and even there is a T10 format as well, which is played not
Right.
at league level, but there's still a T10 format and T20 format. As that becomes more popular, much like people watch, let's call it UFC and boxing, on a general spectator level, you're looking at the exchange of punches, blows, the athleticism of the entire interplay. But more seasoned coaches and seasoned players, they're looking at how each player is pacing themselves, how each player is dictating the flow of the match. That's truly
Strategy.
Exactly. Player strategy really shows up in these longer technical forms. So as the familiarity of cricket really grows internationally, that's going to be a very interesting niche space to find tons of strategy content is in the longer format.
Something we can continue to follow as we go ahead. And again, as always, we are asking you to subscribe, like
and share.
We'll be back. We're going to do this again.
Absolutely. I'm Anil Shankarbanshi,
I'm Richard Ray.
and we hope to see you next time.
See you next time.